Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Mike. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. So I think it was last week, might have been the week before. You and I started talking about rates, and I was like, dude, we're going higher. I actually see 7% by the end of the year as possible, maybe even probable. I understand this week, mortgage bankers, whatever they call themselves, gave an average rate here recently of 6.25.
6.25%. That was Mortgage News Daily, which I point people to because they're not
Awesome.
trying to
Yeah,
collect
sell
your
you
data and
anything.
have 75 people call you. It's a national average. So keep in mind, mortgage broker might be 5.875. You might have some smaller lenders or some, big banks that are offering 6.5. This is a national average, which is a good place for people to look just
Yeah.
kind of get an average. But it's 6.25, so it's closer to your 7% call, which I'm just an optimist, Mike. Like, I know how tough it is for buyers already. I know that 7% is gonna just really just kill demand.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, but like for the people I'm currently working with that want to buy, for them, I'm like, don't go to 7. Don't go to 7.
Don't go to 7. Don't go to 7. Well,
Don't go to 7.
it's really funny we talk about this because, again, everybody's talking about demand destruction, and we've already seen it. We know what demand destruction feels like at 6. We saw it in June. We just saw it. You've seen nothing yet if it goes to 7. What is more interesting, the complete picture, is just how decimated supply will be. Right? The move-up market, which I already say is dead, will be just, I don't know what's worse than dead, but it just, you won't, because again, the real estate, the housing market as a natural order needs move up because they are the sellers for first-time homeowners, and then they are the buyers of the move up. So it's 2 transactions. And if you go to 7, you and I did the math at 6 for yourself, your personal family. Your payment was double. You go to 7? Oh, forget about it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think that, for my market for Sacramento, 500,000 is entry level. For another market, 500 might be that move up buyer, right?
Yeah,
if an entry level is 2 to 250. And so I'm a numbers guy. Yeah. I want people to hear the numbers so it kind of resonates. At 3%, if you buy a house for 500,000 and you put 5% down, so you borrow 475. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, all in. That payment is $2,717. Call it $2,700.
Okay.
At 7%, same $500,000 purchase.
Yep.
$3,875. Your payment is up $1,160 a month. Like that's
again
significant.
This is why I believe the Federal Reserve is coming after the housing market. We are the most levered to interest rates, right? You just talked about a 95% loan, by example. Transactions are already down 30%. Sacramento, your market, I found out yesterday, is down 20%, 26% year on year, same month last year, and probably going lower. And we are heading into the seasonally slow months, right? Again, August is the last good month. Vegas, according to Brian Lebo, down 42% already. August was the 5th worst month in a decade. The only months worse were January's, which is crickets. Can you imagine what will be in the winter? It's going to be worse. And if we go to 7, game over. Just game. It'll take, it's just, I'm so nervous. And we're over. 6.25 average is higher than the early June. Wasn't the peak in June like 6.13?
I think it was 6.23. It was really close. We're basically back at that peak. Which, if I look back, I got the chart for me. 6.28 was June 14th.
Okay, so we're almost there.
Right. Back.
Oh joy.
For all intents and purposes there, and you could see it in leads in for a business like mine, for mortgage applications taken when we went to 6. Really hard hit on the rates.
I mean, I talked to Beth, who's a big she's a top 1% national producer. not her city, not her state, national producer. She said, Michael, rates at 6%, Seattle, game over. Our business fell 50% like that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's, I know Sacramento's getting headlines for the opposite reasons it was getting headlines before. These markets that saw the biggest run up are going to see the most dramatic pullback. And so these markets are sensitive to this stuff, and it makes sense. I mean, when I talk to people, of course transactions are down. Of course demand is down. When I talk to somebody who's buying their first house in Sacramento and 500 is the purchase price, whether it's a 5.75 rate, which is $34.87 a month, or if it goes higher, like that's a big payment. That's a big monthly debt payment to strap to yourself. And so I get it when I talk to people, and I use the example of somebody I spoke with recently. Of 10 people that get referred to us, 6 or 7 qualify. Of those 6 or 7 that qualify, only 3 or 4 are willing.
Exactly.
So
And that's the beauty of demand.
Yeah.
Demand, right? People who don't study this stuff don't realize that demand is a 2-step function. It actually starts with willingness, right? I'm willing to do this. And then the answer is, can you? Like, you're willing to get a Ferrari, but can you, right? You have to be, it has to be a 2-step function. So yeah, we are interesting times. The one thing I wanted to say about interest rates, yes, we're average 6.25. Yes, I think we're going to 7, but there is a pretty large range, right? I guess what I heard the other day, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it kind of goes from like 5.5 or 5 5/8 to well over 7% today. What people might be quoted. So people have to work with a professional such as yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak pretty straightforwardly. If you're not working with a broker, there was a good example somebody used the other day. Mortgage brokers across the country are like the paint contractor, where I get a lower price at Sherwin-Williams than you going directly to Sherwin-Williams yourself.
Exactly, because you have volume.
Yeah, and yeah, in order to get our business, every retail or every wholesale lender is competing. UWM, Home Point, EPM, and so their pricing is competitive as possible. And if you go to a captive retail lender where they're the only game in town, you're already in the store. You're in Sherwin-Williams. You need the
they
paint.
got you.
You're not getting a discount, right? But if you contact a mortgage broker, contacting my team's easy. Greatmortgagebroker.com. Fill out a quick form you can do in 20 seconds. We'll be in touch. We're in most every state. I've got this question recently, so I'll address it. I've got my branch licensed in half the states. I've got great colleagues where, trust me, great client experience, great advice, all the same things I preach you are going to get working with a partner. I've had people reach out and say, hey, you connected me to so-and-so in Chicago. Wasn't my cup of tea. All right, cool. I got another loan officer in Chicago that I can connect you with, and they might be able to help you. But know that you're going to be taken care of. Greatmortgagebroker.com. Fill out the form, and we'll get you the best terms and
if
give you some good advice.
If you are in the market to sign up for what is likely your largest purchase of your adult life, or actually your life in general, you have to work with a professional, right? A 6 1/4 versus 5 3/4. There's a difference. So work with somebody who's going to crunch the numbers, get you the best deal. Greatmortgagebroker.com is where I would go. Matt, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Mm-hmm.